What is up, YouTube? Sciz1 here. Welcome to episode 3 today of Wildstyle Wednesdays. Just getting things set up here, getting things started. Oops, not doing it the right way though. There we go. So, while everyone jumps in here, I'll start off by saying I sorted out my discount codes with bombingscience.com. So it turns out the codes are updated. That's why my old affiliate ones weren't working. So here are the new ones. And these are global. You can use them no matter where in the world you live. So if you guys want some Bombing Science discounts, these are the codes. I'll put the codes in the chat right now, just so you guys have them too. But these are my new affiliate codes that will get you discounts. At bombingscience.com. Yeah. They're apparently working. I talked to Fred at Bombing Science, and he says they're working, so I hope they're working. Those are the codes, though. If you guys are looking to buy a shipment in the near future, they will hopefully work forever. But that's enough of that. What we're doing today, we're going to be working on this piece here. I'm not sure how far we're going to get with the outline. I am gonna try and put some sort of 3D on this as well. I think the 3D is gonna flow this way. But we're gonna try and keep the stream today to under an hour, because YouTube seems to like to cut me off at an hour. They seem to say that I'm too small a YouTuber to be doing live streams longer than that, so that's what we're going to be doing today. Also, tomorrow morning, I've got a video coming out. It's going to be a review. If you're interested in it, check it out. It will be a review of one of my favorite products, actually. So look out for that tomorrow morning. I might have put it for 9 a.m. to go live. That's Eastern Standard Time, 9 a.m. But that video will be out then. But for now, we're going to get right into this. I pretty much penciled out the whole thing here. Clearly, I went far beyond the one piece of paper that I had room for. Hey, Cat, what's up? And what I'm hoping to do is outline the whole thing in thin pen first, and then I might go over it in like a thicker one after that. But I'm gonna adjust my lamp here because that's already really hot. I don't want my hand to be in the way, casting shadows and all that. So yeah, this piece is a little more complex than some of my other ones, but hey, it's Wildstyle Wednesday. That's what we're doing. So, I did take a good chunk of time to draw this out in pencil, so I am going to be sort of taking my time a little bit more on it than some of my other daily sketches, because I want this to be a sort of a good one. Hey Anthony, what's up? The only thing that's going to be a little bit harder about this piece is, since it's two pieces of paper here, turning it to do lines and stuff is going to be a little difficult. Right now I'm using part of my planner to even this out so it's flat, but as we all know, when you go off the piece of paper, it's impossible to ever find a book that is exactly as thick as you need. But yeah, that's how we're doing this today. But I mean, right now, I'm not outlining that part of the piece. I might just move this to the side. Sort of, maybe. For now, it can sit there. So... Alright. So I gotta keep track of when I started this stream a little bit too. But no big deal. I don't know, I might start using the thick outliner actually. Thin one is fine, but I feel confident enough that I know which lines need to be a little thicker. That I can not start with the thin one for some of these. You're right, Anthony, I definitely should. The thing is, I don't know where you live. Where I live right now, it is winter, and Canadian winter, no matter where you live in Canada, is definitely not ideal painting weather. But yeah, soon. Soon, soon, soon. I have a couple of chill spots I like to go, so... But yeah, in the next couple months, I'm going to be traveling, and there'll be some painting videos when I travel as well. Well, it'll be when I'm back from traveling, obviously, but possibly I'm going to be going to Australia. When I'm there, I might be able to meet up with Wave Graffiti. Hopefully you know who that is, and we might be able to do a piece together too, something like that. Hey Doodles and Drips, what's up? I'm filming with a GoPro right now. This is the newest GoPro, the Hero 7 Black, I guess they're calling it. Hey Fabian. Yeah, I got the Hero 7 Black specifically because it has the live streaming feature built into it. So that's why I'm able to stream without any fancy software like OBS or anything like that. I would like to set up streams that are not 100% from the GoPro, but I gotta figure out how to work computers, basically. OBS I've never tried, but that seems to be the universal streaming software that people use on YouTube, other than me. Do you have a GoPro also, Doodles? Here 3+, yeah. I don't know how far in between GoPro takes, like what number of years each model is in between, but Hero 3 is definitely down there. Oh yeah, Logitech stuff. I've never, I'm very, like, for all my camera equipment, everything I use is pretty much either my phone, my GoPro, or my really old camera that I have. And most of the time, if I need something with more than one camera angle, I'll actually use my GoPro and my phone before using my GoPro and my camera, because my camera is just that old. To give you context of how old my camera is, the highest quality it records in is 720. So it's pretty old. It's a little outdated. But that's okay. Am I still streaming here? I don't know what went wrong. It says I'm still streaming. Ah, there I am. I'm always nervous about having my stream dropped since it's happened like 4 times now. You're right, we do make do, Doodles. Yeah. I don't know. It's always preferable to upgrade, but at what point does it become actually worth it rather than... Because at least, like, when you put up with the nuisance of having an old camera, at least it's free and not like $500 to buy a new camera, which is the problem for me. I'm not gonna spend a ton of money on camera equipment and stuff when when it's not really making me anything back. But yeah, I really do like the GoPro. Hey, Anthony. Really? I mean, my channel is old. I was looking at how old my first videos were the other day. I made a couple of them private because they're just not anything that I'm proud of having on YouTube. I think the date my channel was created was October, like, 15th or something like that, 2012. So that's, I guess we're 2019, so that's 7 years ago. Well, 6.5-ish. But yeah, I really appreciate that some people have stuck around that long. I definitely took a couple years off too, sort of, from posting stuff, which wasn't necessarily helpful, but... But yeah, I definitely appreciate the support, Anthony. Hopefully you've seen some improvement in my stuff in the past 7 years. Yeah, Doodles, you're right. Art supplies are definitely #1 over camera equipment. If you're doing it the other way around, I feel like you're more of a YouTube over graffiti type person, and I don't like that. No matter what, if you're an artist on YouTube, you should always remember that, like, you're an artist first, not a YouTuber first. That's super important. That's part of why I have this sketchbook in particular. It's my daily one. Try and do one every single day, just because a lot of times, like, if I could, I would sit down and draw all day, every day. But you need to market yourself a little bit, put your stuff out there, if you're gonna be able to eventually gain any traction from it. And that can take up a lot of time. So having this daily sketchbook and making it something that I need to do every day is helpful to make sure that I don't fall into the rhythm of like, okay, gotta get another video done, then another one, and just never sketching. Because sometimes that does happen. It's not what you want to happen. Yeah, I don't know about that, Anthony. Like, it's definitely mainstream now, so at some point it happened, but I don't know when. I'm always jealous of, what's his name? If you watched, like, graffiti on YouTube a long time ago, like, YouTube started in, 2006? And I think the first two sort of graffiti channels, I may be wrong about this, sort of, but pretty much the first graffiti channels on YouTube were SDK, their whole crew, and Shiva Graffiti. And I swear to God, both of their channels just blew up because they were the only ones on YouTube doing that at the time. That's not to say they're not good, but there's definitely a lot more on YouTube nowadays, a lot of white noise too. I'm sort of running into the problem of where I've forgotten a little bit where I meant to put lines and stuff. I started this last night, very late, or I guess technically you could say early this morning. So my memory at that time wasn't very good either. I was super tired. Right now, gotta remember what I was going for. Like I said at the beginning of the stream, there's a lot of lines here. I'm most likely not gonna finish the whole piece in the stream today. If I could stream for as long as it would take to finish this, I would finish it on camera. That's not my problem. Hey, thanks for the follow, Doodles. But, as I say, YouTube doesn't want me streaming for that long. So, my streams end up getting cut off around an hour. But I'm going to get as much done of it as I can, and my finished piece will be on Instagram. That's usually where I post these after finishing them. Speaking of that too, my photo I posted last week after the stream on Instagram of my smart piece that we had done in the stream, for some reason that got like 270 some likes when my normal photos get like 40 or 50. So that was super awesome. I have no idea why, but it was cool to wake up the next day to see that, because never really had any of my Instagram stuff go viral in any sense. But that was definitely cool. Yeah, I'm hoping this one turns out a little better today than some of the ones earlier this week in this book. I'll show you them in a second. Fabian, thanks for the follow. Yeah, my one's earlier this week. Granted, I'm 3 days behind right now, but actually tomorrow, if I finish this today, tomorrow I will have 3 pieces to do for my daily ones. But yeah, I did this yesterday. Not that happy with it. I'm very experimental. I didn't add any 3D to it or anything like that either. Did an OMK sketch. Another very simple one. That one I started and didn't like it. That one's a Casey one. I just chose a random word for that one. Yeah, that one was sort of working with structure and stuff. Again, it turned out not bad. And here's the smart one from last week. So yeah. Oh, I also never ended that off. Let's do a simple connection there. It's funny how you get super complex pieces and you just forget lines in them at some points. The worst is when you have a wall like that and then you eventually forget. Well, I mean, you eventually remember, but it's usually the next time you look at that wall a month after you had done it previously, so you're like, oh, well, I don't have the paint to fix it now, so guess that mistake is there forever. Since this piece in general is so, like, curvaceous, I guess you could say, I'm really trying to get my lines not choppy, keep them really clean. Make them continuous. Over thickening this line a little bit, I think, but too late. Already done. That might have been where I had that cut off. Thanks for stopping by, Doodles. We'll see you later. Story time. That would be an interesting one, but I don't really have that many interesting stories, to be honest. I have a couple, though. But yeah, if I did that, I'd want to make a nice video out of it. Not bad there. Almost the whole S done, actually, and only in, I guess, a half hour. Not as good as I thought. even the pencil outline on this piece took a long time, so not surprised that this is taking as long as it is, but I'm still sad about it. Because as fun as outlining and everything is, I always feel like the funnest part of art in any form, especially graffiti, is the design stage where you're actually making your letters. I prefer being able to see, so daytime is preferable if you're painting. Depends, like if you're in a place where you can see at night, then not bad, but usually if it's a place that you can see at night, it's not a super chill spot. And I'm more about quality over quantity. I'm sure a lot of other artists would disagree on that, and they would think quantity is important, which I'm not saying it's not important. I'm just saying my personal taste is I like having all my pieces. Like, I would like to think if someone came up to any of me making any of my pieces, they would find it good enough if I was putting enough effort into it that they wouldn't really care that I was doing it. That's my philosophy. Okay, on to the C now. I also sort of crinkled this paper, unfortunately, when I was taping them together, the two pieces, because they're not taped evenly. So that's not helping me either. Yeah, this is where I need my support thing back. There we go. Even that out. Oh, I messed that up. I'd had this come down a little bit and had a little box here, which isn't gonna look right now. One of the reasons I like this little sketchbook is because usually it's small enough that you can just whip it around and turn it and make a line from whichever direction you want. But when you extend the piece off of the book, it makes it a little harder to turn and maneuver. So you gotta do some more awkward lines. And to me, that's the biggest difference between spray paint work and sketching, is a wall isn't going anywhere, so you need your technique from every possible direction to be perfect. Whereas sketching, you have a bit of leeway in that respect. I would say most of my friends are like, they understand more about graffiti, whereas anyone older that I talk to is like not as understanding of it. If that helps to answer your question, I guess, Anthony. Like, it really depends on who you talk to. And generally, I mean, you were saying earlier that graffiti's sort of become more mainstream, which it definitely has, but I think it's only become more mainstream among younger people. So, talking to younger people about this kind of thing is definitely easier, less, they're more likely to know what you mean by more things. One mural I'm in the process of negotiating, sort of getting the okay to go ahead and do. It's for an organization that's like mainly people over 50. Basically, it's like an older organization. If you've heard of like the Masons, Masonry lodges and all that. So obviously a very old tradition with all that sort of thing, but everyone in that whole thing is generally not younger. And like having to explain to them like what I mean when I'm volunteering to do a mural for them is like, I find I have to emphasize, like, no, I'm not just gonna come and like scribble junk on the back of your building. Like, I'm gonna put 2-3 days into actually doing a piece here. Hey, Dopey. Hey, Formula made it too. Nice. Yeah, I have never had serious beef with anyone else. And to be honest, I just, like, I wouldn't have, I don't know, because I'm not the type to start any, and I've never had anyone, like, cap me in spots that I thought they shouldn't have, so I've never really gotten into any beef with anyone. But yeah, I'm not about to start beef with people, so. And I've never had a big crew or anything, so beef with crews has definitely never been a thing with me either. I've been in like a couple online sort of crews, but that's very different than real life crews. Alright, sort of, I made this line way too thick. It's pissing me off a lot. Like, it is a main part of the C, but it doesn't connect well with anything else. Yeah, I feel like if you're, I mean, there's like definitely, depending on the graffiti scene around your area, beef sort of means a different kind of thing. Like, in some areas, if you start beef with someone, your life is actually, like, legitimately at risk. Whereas in other areas, it's more just people cap each other, and then if they ever meet up, they're just going to yell at each other and cry. But in any context, I just don't see the appeal to it, so I've never, like I said, I've never started any, which helps, and no one's ever capped me, so. That's also because I'm not in super competitive spots that I'm painting, so. What was I doing here? What time are we at here, guys? Oh, we're only at 36 minutes. Nice. As I said, I'm going to aim for just under an hour so I don't get cut off streaming again. So that's what happened 2 times ago, and last time I lost connection. Yeah, I have technical problems. So yeah, the finished piece will be posted on my Instagram, which is at Sciz Graffiti, just like my YouTube channel, just without the space, no capitals. Super easy to find. I would piece your name, but this one's gonna take me a while. Definitely not gonna finish it before the end of the stream. Also, as I was saying before, now that there's some people in here, we were talking the other day about bombing science codes. These are my new ones. My old ones were discontinued. I guess they discontinue them every once in a while. But these are my new bombing science codes. I threw them at the beginning of the chat, at the beginning of the live stream. So you can use these codes for $10 off or $5 off, depending on how big your order are. That's in US dollars. If you're in Canadian, it'll be like $5.75 off or $11.50 off instead of $5 and $10. So yeah, screenshot that, do whatever you need to do. But if you have an order from bombingscience.com, throw those codes in, and you'll save some money. I agree with you, Anthony. I don't know why everyone's got to be all hot-headed about everything. Like, that's just not the point. And I thought the point was exactly what you're saying, to unite people against, it started because of uniting people against a lot of corruption, things like that, and just having a voice. And for some reason, people have taken it out of that context. I'm glad artistically it's evolved the way it has, but some of the cultural aspects that have been introduced, I could care less for. Ah. Almost dropping things. My coffee is getting cold. That's okay. Cold coffee is better than no coffee. That's what I like to say. People at my work complain about their coffee getting cold, and that's what I tell them. I'm like, hey, would you rather have no coffee or cold coffee? They're like, all right, I guess you're right. I'm like, yeah, I am. I was thinking I would turn this daily sketchbook into like a bi-daily sketchbook where I would do one every 2 days, and that might encourage me to put more effort into them. But then I was also thinking, like, no, if I only have to do one every 2 days, it's just going to make me take a day off and then rush to do one on the second day anyway. So I'm probably just going to keep it to a daily one. Amen, dopey. Like, if you don't enjoy it, or if there's other stuff happening, like beef with crews and stuff that's making it not enjoyable, then why be a part of that? So do it because you like it, and make sure you keep it as something that you like. That's part of why it's so sad that so many artists end up, like, you can tell they really like the art they do, but at a certain point they just stop doing it because they see no future in it. And it makes you wonder, like, wow, what kind of amazing artists would we have if they weren't all forced to quit because they couldn't make enough money from it or stuff like that, you know? Like, if people actually had enough funding that they needed to do art as more of a significant career. To be honest, Anthony, to me it's not so much about, I always learned it as, like, it's the order